Okay, for this section on statistics, we're doing a lot of vocabulary. So there's two important vocabulary words at the top, and you should be familiar with these words, mean and median. So mean and median are both measures of central tendency. That means we're trying to find the middle of something. And these are just two different ways to find the middle. Okay, the mean is our average. That's when you add up the numbers and you divide by the number of data points there are. We use this when the data is symmetric. Symmetric means it looks the same on the left side and the right side. So we're going to look at some shapes in a few minutes to see what that looks like. Median is the middle number when it's in order from least to greatest, and it can be used both symmetric and skewed data, or when you have outliers. So these words should be familiar. We've talked about them earlier in the year. Okay, what does the shape look like? So symmetric, the mean and the median are either exactly the same or very similar. Sometimes they're just off by a little bit. The outliers are on both sides if there are any outliers, and it's roughly symmetric, meaning if I split this graph in half, it looks the same on the left and the right. When something is skewed, the mean and the median are very different. Okay. This is an example of a graph that is skewed left. Okay, skewed left, because there's a little bit of data over here on the left side that is pulling your mean towards the left. Okay, so in this picture, the mean is less than, if you forgot what that word means, make yourself a little note, the mean is less than the median. That means this would be our mean, and this would be our median. Okay. When we have something that is skewed right, it looks like this. A little bit of the data is on the right side. The median is less than the mean. Okay, so again, this is less than. So in this case, this one is our median, and this one is our mean. Okay, that little bit of data that's over on this side is changing your mean to make it more, move more to the right. Okay, when something is single clustered, it means there's one peak. So something like this, that there's only one time it like comes up higher, and it's, you know, both sides of it are slowly going down. When you have multiple peaks, it's called multi-clustered. So it's like you have a little group of data here with a high point and balance on each side, a group of data here with a high point and then balance on each side, and it keeps doing that. So this is multiple peaks. Okay, so that's the vocabulary. Now we're going to look at some examples. Says use the data set to answer the following questions. So find the mean, find the median, is the shape symmetric or skewed, why? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put these numbers in order from least to greatest. So I have a 3 and a 3. I like to mark them off as I use them so I don't make any mistakes. A 9, a 17, a 19, and a 22. And I've used everything. Okay, so it says find the mean, find the median. So now that they're in order, I'd like to find the median first. It's just easier. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. So the middle is going to be when I have 3 on each side. So the 9 is in the middle. So my median is 9. Okay. My mean, I'm going to have to do some adding. So I'm going to need a calculator. I'm going to add all of these numbers up. And then since there were 7 numbers, I'm going to divide by 7. Okay, so I got to add everything up. 3 plus 3 plus 8 plus 9 plus 17 plus 19 plus 22. I get 81. And then 81 divided by 7 gives me 11.6 if I round. Okay. Is the shape symmetric or skewed? Why? So these aren't the same, right? They're definitely different. So if they're not the same or like very, very close to the same, we're going to say it's skewed. So in this example, the median is less than the mean. So if I go back and I look at what I did on the other side, when the median was less than the mean, that made it skewed right. Oops. Okay, so it's skewed right, and this is the reason. The median is less than the mean. Okay, next one. Use the data set to answer the following questions. Again, I like to put them in order first. So 2, then 5, then 7, then 7, then 14. So there's 5 numbers. So the middle would have 2 on each side. So the median is 7. To do the mean, I'm adding them up. And I'm going to divide by 5. So I'm going to get 35 divided by 5. So my mean is 7. So is this symmetric or skewed? It's going to be symmetric. And the reason is that the mean and the median are exactly the same. They're equal. Okay, example 3. The double histogram shows the distributions of monthly precipitation for 2 towns over a 50-month period. Compare the distributions using their shapes and appropriate measures of center. So if we were to draw a little shape over this, okay, this side is getting pulled. It's not really going to be symmetric. Okay, this one, it looks a little closer to symmetric. So we're going to say that city A is skewed. City B is, we're going to say approximately symmetric because it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. Okay. All right, example 4. Describe the shape of each distribution. So if I turn my paper on the side like this, I could tell that the peak is over here, and then there's a little bit of information on the right side. So this one's not symmetric. This one's going to be skewed. And it'll be skewed to the right. And then if I look at this one, it does almost the exact same thing on the right and the left side. It actually does exactly the same thing for the heights. This is 1, 1, 3, 3, and then it's exactly the same. So this one is symmetric. So if you have a stem and leaf plot, you can turn your paper on the side and look at the shape that way.